Live men and women do not exist in this fictional fucking realm. Period.
Yes, they do.
They don't.
They do. Who you think is sitting in jail? It ain't your birth certificate in there. It ain't your driver's license in there.
Exactly.
It's you, dummy. It's you.
Because
Who's
Because you
incarcerated?
were acting as an agent for 100% of everybody in jail. 100% of them that got in there under a code are in there because they were acting as an agent.
Under code, 100%.
Under code.
Under a code. If you're in jail under a code, you are in jail because
with a code
you were
and a
acting
fine.
Yeah, but you were in there under the false pretense
Don't
because you
matter.
didn't know any better.
Yeah, but still ignorant.
absolutely
Right.
ignorant.
And ignorance of the law is
So
an
that's the
excuse
volunteer.
when you don't know no better.
No, it ain't.
When you don't know no better, it's more than just the ignorance of the law. You can be not cognizant of what they're trying to present as law, because it's only morality. That's when you go against God's law and goes to man's law. And see, we lost morality. Real law
get your
is
truck out of jail,
morality,
Morvis?
not motherfucking goddamn law.
Your truck
Law
out of
is
jail,
if
Morvis?
anything legal is unlawful.
Damn, now I got redoing everything.
Damn.
Rico.
Well, that's gonna leave the people watching the first half hanging. They're gonna be like, "What happened? We got too excited, guys.
No, that's some good stuff.
Y'all got bored or something?"
No, I got booted.
Right back in.
I got booted too.
I
Told
just
him
stopped
plain
and
day that
everything
it's not
closed.
for business.
So yeah. So why not ask them if it's what kind of transaction it is?
I was thinking that last night, and here's what I want to show y'all. So, Sonny, are you back in?
I mean, I know it's supposed to be
Wait,
consumer.
raise your hand so I can add you, because I gotta show you guys this.
It's supposed to be consumer, but
But I'm
They're
not the
using- they're-
consumer.
they're using TILA credit
End
debtor
user.
relationship to defeat their liability on paying you the loan every month.
I don't know. I don't know how they're winning when they're already being deceptive. I can already sue them. I already have a cause of action to sue them for deceptive business practices simply for sending me page 2 of 2 without page 1. Who agrees? Who sees that that's already deceptive? You don't see that it's deceptive to send me something to sign with an incomplete document to sign? You don't think that's
Not
deceptive?
unless they try to give it to you when you get there.
They're giving it to me now. That's still a presentation, is it
page.
not?
They're giving you a missing page later. That to me that'd be a issue. But
I know you're saying that at this stage of the game, it doesn't matter. But do you agree if they give me a document, an incomplete document to sign, that is deceptive? Yes or no?
I guess it
Yeah.
could.
If you give me an incomplete document to sign, how could it not be deceptive?
Right.
I'm going over the application that they had me sign for the city utilities, allegedly, and that's what they're furnishing as a contract, which clearly isn't.
All right. So I want to take you guys to my notes. Yes. That God shows. Yes. How is that not? You got to ask yourself, how is it not already deceptive if you're offering me a paper that says it's page 2 of 2, but you're not going to show me page 1?
It's deceptive by omission.
Right.
We need
Because
somebody
None
else.
of your
We
informed
need someone else to go
consent.
through the process to
Your
find out.
signature is saying that you're liable for something, but if it's not even complete, where's the first piece of paper? I don't know what it is that you're
100%.
telling.
We need
now.
someone else to do that, just to see what they do.
Yeah,
the
but
same
you
thing.
guys people are too scared. I don't know what people are waiting on.
I'm doing it. I didn't already.
I don't know why it's a big deal. We had to have COVID, and then I got sick and couldn't do anything for like 4 months. And people are still. Y'all remember that call where I was like, "When I feel better, I'm going for my car." I can hardly breathe. I can hardly breathe. I'm like, I'm coming for my car. I said, I can't believe y'all gonna make me get sick, get better, and then go do it, right? And you guys, what are you doing? Why are we waiting, right?
I
Fuck
got
around
mine
and find out.
They email me every day talking about, are you ready for your application?
Wow, are you ready for your application? Okay, so I went back to this is where I started. What's funny is I didn't start here. I started here. And I'm going to tell you guys why I started here. I went to the
screen,
state.
Malika.
Oh, you can't see my
your
screen.
screen. No.
Okay. Thank you. Here we go.
I want you to enter on the second floor, please. But where's the first floor steps? No, just enter on the second floor.
Maybe they got a ramp.
You got to jump. You got to jump to the second
Maybe
floor.
they have a ramp. You just drive up to the second floor, right? Because I want y'all to see, because Charles called it right. He's like, you're going to go straight to the law department. I'm going to go straight to the law department because all the other dummies, the seller or deal, what do you mean? The car salesman, right? They don't know any law, but they're hypnotized to think that they're going to follow some law when they come out here, right? When they come on the show floor, they're going to pretend.
Malika, was that document from the finance manager or was it from the sales guy? That'd be the question.
This is the salesman man. That document came from the man at the local dealership.
Man.
Malinka, if they knew
Got
law, they wouldn't even be a salesman anymore.
He's been texting me. He's the one texting me. Donnie. Donnie is his name. I think his full name is Donald, but he's calling himself Donnie because they want to act like they my bro, right?
Yeah.
Who was Tyler? Who was Tyler?
Tyler, it seems to be the guy at Ford, at like the headquarters.
Gotcha.
The guy at the dealership that's actually talking to me, his name is Donnie. Okay. So in Washington, because that's where their license is. So I'm looking to see what their license allows them to do. So this is the title. This is the title here. Title 46. Title 46 is where motor vehicles are. It's also where, funny enough, traffic and transportation for the motor vehicles are. So it's probably going to be a similar section in whatever state you're looking at. You're looking for the motor vehicles. I found it looking for the statutes governing the sale of a vehicle. That's what I put in. So this is it. Actions for violations, injunctions, claim under. Look at what I found. The Federal Automobile Dealer Franchise Act, which is Title 15. How y'all like that? So written into the RCWs, the local RCWs, they're telling you what federal acts they're enforcing. Y'all heard me say that before. When we did that traffic blocking class, we went to the Federal Motor Carriers Act. When we talking about mortgage free, we went to the Homeowners Loan Act and the National Housing Act, right? So you will always see in the local codes, they are enforcing a federal act.
statute.
Always. They tell you straight up that they're enforcing Title 15. This section of Title 15, which is for foreign trade and commerce, is the Federal Automobile Dealer Franchise Act. So you can look for this alone and then just put the state name and you should find whatever section it's under. I'll be right back. So I want you guys to look at this because you're going to see what the dealership can actually do. And you're going to know it's not offer you a private car.
The dealer or dealership, two different things.
Yeah, one is the sailor, one is the boat.
All I'm trying to say is if it's a business opportunity, you're the one that's supposed to benefit from it. So if we use the social right,
And it is.
if we use the social right and our benefit, then we wouldn't even be having really this discussion.
Oh, do we owe a debt to the United States then for that
These
benefit?
are creditors, but we don't have any proof of it. In other words, they're not disclosing it.
Hey, what's your name, Bay? It would be paid on the tax from your income, right? Because you're gaining income off of that note. Right?
Hold
It'd
on.
have to go into your bank account, wouldn't it?
I mean, I don't give a fuck how it comes. I'm just saying we would then file the taxes because now we're gaining income, right?
That is correct.
Well,
but
It's not
but
like
you would have to be the one
we're getting.
to have control of. You would have to be the one to have control of that credit and debit balance. So the question is, who's in control of it?
I want to know who the debtor is, though. I hear
There's no
Social Security.
debtor. There's no debtor in the relationship. They're just using that to defeat their liability, right? It's a trust situation all the way around.
Yeah,
So
but
are
who's
they
the controlling
acquiring
party?
then the grill?
The
Are they
question is, who's the
acquiring
controlling
Social
party?
Security number?
There's too many people.
who's the controlling party? That's my question. Who
Whoever-
is in control of the
Who's the trustee?
transaction?
What you're asking?
Who's in control of the transaction?
You're saying who's the trustee, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And who is giving consent for the person or individual, whoever, to be the trustee? Who is giving them consent? And they're saying that we are giving them consent. But the question is, who's the trustee there?
It's the Secretary of the International Monetary Fund.
Congress.
Yeah, but
existing
where's
DC.
it? But then where's the
The
documentation
Secretary
proof
for the
that we've
International
given?
Monetary Fund.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Those are good questions. Those are actually great questions. And what we'll find is that the answer is in the code. The answer is in the code. Title 12 is being run by the Bank of International Settlements out of Bern. Okay? The Bank of International Settlements and the IMF are who's running those United States codes.
IS.
Out of Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yes, out of Bern, Switzerland.
But this is my question though. If the social security number is being required and one isn't a debtor though, can't one still sue? Hey, you're asking for this, Title 42, subsection 4.
The social security number is never being required. The social security number is never being required. The social security number is always merely being requested because the business license that the agency or agent is asking you for it, in that business license, they agree to help the United States identify and track all of the U.S. persons. So if you want a business license, so-called in the state, you have to agree to help them track their persons. So it's always to be requested, but it cannot be required.
And it's your data.
It's not my data.
Oh, business data.
Somebody business data.
Honestly, requested and required is kind of the same to me because one is an inquisition, one is a question. You know what I mean? Let me inquire again or let me question.
You ain't comfortable in your skin?
They're just asking you if you have one, which is the request, and your reply is, I do not, or it's not
Correct.
required, or
So
it's not
ultimately-
required. So they request, your response is it's not required.
So then my ultimate question then would be, it goes back to when you brought up discrimination.
Right. This is
Wouldn't
why
then
we're
now-
here. This is why we're here on lawful acts and practices.
Alrighty.
Okay.
How would they run your credit?
They don't have to run my credit. They use my shit to make the car. How are you gonna run my credit again? If my credit wasn't good, you wouldn't have been able to make the car.
The credit of the people or the credit of the person, McGreal? The person.
God's credit.
Person.
Good.
Okay, so in their definitions for the motor vehicle, they tell you that it's every vehicle which is required to be registered and titled. Okay,
Is what?
they're not telling you that every motor vehicle is required. They're just using the definition of motor vehicle to define that which is required. My vehicle. Say that again, McReal.
Is it a motor vehicle or automobile? Because you get
Well,
automobile insurance.
My vehicle is just a vehicle. It's not a motor vehicle only because it's not required to be registered and titled.
So if you got insurance, what is it called?
I think you're engaged in business and commerce. I'm glad you asked about insurance because that's one of the first things that come up when you are looking up these definitions. Insurance is what comes up. I believe this is the insurance. I think this is the insurance section right here, 46. Let me click on it because I think that's actually the insurance section.
In that conversion?
No, this is the motor vehicle section. It's actually 43.
Man, we have automobiles, not motor vehicles.
No, insurance is 48. Okay, so under 48 for insurance, that's where the definitions of motor vehicle comes up. Title 48. Do I not have it in here? Oh, it does not
what
seem like I
automobile
have it
insurance?
in here.
Where is automobile insurance?
They don't. Okay, here in Washington, they do claim that a motor vehicle is an automobile if it is used a particular way. Okay, they do define it. They do use the word automobile. So I don't try to play those kind of word games. I don't try to, because it's not none of their business. Period. If it's not one which is required to be registered and titled under this title, nothing that I have is what is going to be required to be registered, because this is a commercial code. This is a commercial use code. So if I'm not using the product commercially in interstate and foreign commerce, it will never be one which is required to be titled under this title. Does everybody follow me?
100%.
It tells them that it is an unlawful practice. It's an unlawful practice that a certain percentage is the amount of the service charge to be charged for financing without stating whether this percent charge is a monthly amount or an amount to be charged per year. They usually don't do that. Here's when they talk about the licenses required. Look, for dealers and manufacturers. That's who the license is required for. Not for me. Nothing in this chapter prohibits financial institutions from cooperating with vehicle dealers licensed under this chapter in dealer sales or leases. Somebody's not getting a shirt, man. You guys need to start picking up your shirts when you order them, okay? However, financial institutions shall not broker vehicles, and cooperation is limited to organizing, promoting, and financing of such dealer sales. That to me sounds like it's business to business. That
We
sounds
need the
like
same end user vibe as we had in utilities.
correct. I'm glad you noticed that. So they pivot from the dealership stuff, right? See what it says here? Application of chapter to existing and future franchises and contracts. So they're still talking business to business, guys. And that's what I started to say earlier. The manufacturers, they claim, can only deal with the dealerships, right? That's a business to business transaction. But what they don't tell you at the dealership is they too can only deal with other businesses. So what they do is convert the relationship from a private man, which they cannot deal with, into a business to business transaction, because that's all they can deal with.
That's what every transaction pretty much.
That's why I keep asking people, when we're signing stuff, what is it that we're saying? When we give certain numbers, whether it's an EIN, SSN, or whatever, what are you in fact saying? Are you saying, this is how I'm qualified to be in this transaction? Because the use of this number is letting you know who I am transacting on behalf of.
I thought it was only a consumer or a commercial.
That's
So
the
you're a
problem. Both those
party.
things are commercial. The consumer is a commercial term. And that's why I came to this section, so I could show y'all, look, consumer. Consumer means a person. Consumer means a person. A person is always an agent.
True
The
though.
consumer is a person who distributes or displays any article of tangible personal property, the primary purpose of which is to promote the sale of products and services.
And that's your paperwork.
Exercising my dominion. I'm not trying to sell anything. And when you tell people they're a consumer, they're not thinking I'm the one who showed up to sell. That is what they're saying when they claim to be a consumer. They're saying I'm engaged in interstate and foreign commerce and I showed up to sell. That is what you are saying when you call yourself a consumer, because a consumer is a commercial term. It's defined
what are you
under their
selling?
commercial code.
What are you selling?
I'm not selling anything.
On a normal whim.
But if you're calling yourself a consumer, of course you're selling paperwork.
Well, if they go by the TILA, right?
They're selling paperwork. That's what
Right.
you're selling. Paperwork and labor. You're selling paperwork and labor. You're selling them your paperwork and telling them you're going to perform certain services.
Well, we didn't tell them what to do because, when upon
They
selling
could
our
go
business,
straight to hell. That's what they could do for me.
they're supposed to pay us for that.
Look, it says taxpayer and purchaser, which they're equating here, taxpayer and purchaser include all persons.
Right.
I'm not acting as a person when I show up for myself. I'm not showing up on behalf of my all caps named straw man person. No. I'm here for actual me.
Okay. But you
All
know,
right?
as well as I know, that the living has no substance in the fictional world.
Say again.
That's what I was just thinking.
Me and you cannot live or run around the Monopoly board.
I mean, I can, but I'd be acting like the baby that crawl in from the side and mash up the whole game and then drool on it a little bit.
That's
Yeah,
why you
but
have to take these agents or these bankers, because everybody is basically impounding your dominion as some type of fucking banker, no matter
But you
what
see what
it
it's saying
is.
here, bro. You see what it's saying here. Taxpayer and purchaser include
Correct.
all persons, including buyer and consumer. The consumer is a taxpayer.
That's
Which is the
them.
car dealership and its dealers.
Hey,
Consumer is a taxpayer.
like kind.
Well, the consumer is the person that trade
they're,
name.
they're
The
trying to play.
consumer is the
They're playing
taxpayer.
So,
Yes.
all the roles.
so when
Yeah.
there is no like kind, then, and we're pointing out that the only buyer and consumer can only be the dealers and the dealership, then now you have to bibbity bobbity boo them into trustee beneficiary
Sure.
relationship.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, son. Thank you.
But that's what it is, though.
I
So they're
agree.
using,
I
they're
agree.
using
So if
that
they're
shit.
in the trustee
That's it.
position, if they're the ones in the trustee position, who should be signing stuff?
Them.
They're using that shit to defeat the liability, not the trust, but the TILA.
This is
Credit
the other
agreement.
thing I want to show you guys. This is the other thing that I think is funny. I hear what you're saying, Charles. I hear what you're saying. They trying to defeat TILA. I'm not gonna let.
So keep it in trust.
I don't even know what that means. I don't know what the hell that means. All I know is the Federal Reserve said that my arms and legs backs the whole gazillion, squillion, zillion of whatever is in the treasury. That's what I see. So if I show up with my hands and legs, okay, let me get that one over there. You're the
Making an
consumer.
insurance deduction.
You're a consumer. No.
what
The
I'm-
consumer is the taxpayer. The
what you're
consumer
saying?
and the purchaser, and I already showed y'all in my other document that the purchaser is one who buys or leases a business opportunity.
Which is the dealership
Always.
and the dealers.
Right? But here's this definition I want to show y'all. And what's interesting about this definition is that it's the only definition that shows up for who might be buying the car under this section. And the only one that shows up is this buyer's agent. Buyer's agent. So I ask you again, my people, who is supposed to be signing this? The buyer or the buyer's agent?
The agent, your legal son.
The buyer's agent.
The one you make?
Your
That's what they
representative.
call. I was like, why is it? Let me pull it up for y'all so y'all could be mesmerized with me. I was
So-
like, why? Why is this the only? Actually, it's right here. Bam! I still got it open. I still got it open. You see, this chapter is called Dealers and Manufacturers. Y'all see that? This is the car dealers and manufacturers. Okay. You click on definitions, which is the first thing, and it says auction company, buyer's agent. They don't even say buyer. There's no buyer here. It's just you go straight to buyer's agent. Department means the Department of Licensing. Director means the director. Teresa Bernstein. Established place of business, listing dealer. Y'all stop me when this sounds like a private transaction is happening. Okay? Distributor, factory branch, factory distribution representative, factory representative. Motor vehicle means a vehicle self-propelled, without
That's the
trolleys,
buyer.
blah, blah, blah. A new motor vehicle, recreational vehicle, principal place of business, sub-agency, vehicle, temporary sub-agency, motor vehicle dealer. Any of this sound private to y'all? Like it's private
None of
people
it.
involved
None of it.
anywhere? Why is it that the only buyer is a buyer's agent?
Because that's what we be doing.
So the bank,
So the bank what?
So the bank don't get busted.
So the bank don't get busted.
Because everything is a retail transaction. It's all retail.
They're purchasing your security. Shit.
You
It's
keep
already there.
saying that, but I think they're just trying to defraud people, period.
Well, yeah, they are. They ain't putting no money out.
They're trading their
They're
securities.
using your
Yeah,
credit.
and they're trying to, in my opinion, they're trying to make you an agent. So here's the other thing under that
Using
same
your
section, Title 46, right? Like I told you guys, buyer's agent means a person who is paid a fee or receives other compensation. This is what Charles is trying to be. Charles is trying to be the buyer's agent who receives a fee or other compensation from the consumer for its services. To me, that's the position that Charles is describing. And again, I'm not telling you that you're wrong, bad, or evil if you play that position. But to me, it just doesn't sound like a beneficiary. I mean, I could be wrong, and I'm open to being wrong. But they don't have anything in their definitions that makes it sound like a regular man or woman is involved anywhere. All of these to me sound like agents.
So here's my
What is it?
question then. What can you do on their instruments that even though they think you're playing ball, everything you put on their instruments completely makes you what you are, the beneficiary and them the trustee, and they don't find out until they get audited?
Nothing.
There's
Nothing.
nothing because
No
it's
thing.
not us. It's not what you put. At least this is my comprehension. It's not
My
what
con-
you put on it. It's that you're putting something on it.
Is that the word consumer? Consumo. Sumo means to compete. Compete.
Without liability.
Charles, compete. Sumo. Japan. Fat ass.
God, the consumer.
No, and
Okay.
the reason why I asked that is because there should be then some in lieu of documentation, because filling out anything on their documentation means you're an agent for them.
Right. So what seems to make sense to me, what it seems to make sense to me is giving them a communication, letting them know this is what I'm here for.
You're being an enemy combatant.
I know that people don't want to be an enemy combatant, so we're having this conversation to say, is the alternative. Okay, I'm showing y'all what I am researching as the alternative. Because I don't want to have to act as any kind of agent. And again, in their definitions, there's nothing but agents. Okay, it's Title 48. That's the insurance. I'm not sure why I didn't put that on here, but the insurance section has these same definitions, right? Here you go. Good faith. They love to put the definition of good faith. Good faith means honesty in fact and fair dealing. When they sent me that upside down page 2 of 2 and then told me I printed 2 things at once.
Dealership is the one that's stealing from you.
Was it yeah, it is the dealership that's stealing from me, because when I ordered the truck from the manufacturer, they just said, okay, yes, ma'am, I'll be right on that. And then the dealership is who contacted me and sent me that false and deceptive form, making a false representation because they give me page 2 of 2 and then lie when I ask them for page 1. Is that acting in good faith, honesty, in fact, and fair dealing?
Or honor. The middleman just intercepted you. Why not go back to the manufacturer and say, look, this dealership's getting in the way of our transaction?
That's what I attempted to do with this right here 3 days ago. Well, it timed out now.
If you're not having private
Right here.
contracts with the corporations, you're not doing it right.
Okay, so they sent me an application number using the day, right? They asked me, they give me the customer support I could click on. So I'm going to continue my conversation with Ford. Okay, I do intend to do that. I want them to tell me, well, I can't transact with you. Don't transact with me then. Send the car. They can.
Business to private person?
They can press a button back there. I know because I was a manager at a place where I can press a magic button and you don't have to pay for your merchandise. I know that.
It's insured already?
It's insured already.
And
it's
then
actually called the markdown button. It actually had a name on it, MKT, but when it's pressed, only someone like myself at the security clearance level, okay? Even if one of my employees
Double secret
press the button.
clearance.
You're saying they're not already prepaid?
When one of my employees press the button, I get a notification on my screen if I'm in the back office that I have to come to the front register
Override.
and override it. That's right.
Isn't it taken care of when it comes to the FTZ?
The Federal Trade Zone.
Well, if you
I
folks
can't
remember,
stop looking at that Georgia one with the big ship on the front and the big plane. I'm like, they trying to tell us.
you can choose to wrestle with these people. If you folks remember the story of Jacob wrestling with a man by the bank of the river, he was wrestling with God, and that sumo wrestling, consumer. That's they're wrestling with you. If you're going to be a consumer, it's going to be a fight.
Malika, those names on the receipt that they gave you, go after them because they're the ones that gave you that approval and the receipt.
I'm fine with that. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. What I'm probably gonna go after the man that lied at the dealership because they're the ones running interference.
Yeah. And
Say
what
that
they'll
again, Big
do is
Real?
they'll
So
give you a
the
car.
the owner will
Sorry.
call you because I tried a similar deal without doing the financing or the not financing, but God damn it, without the social or anything or credit app. And I got that and endorsed it, sent it back, and then the owner called me. So I know I did something right, but I didn't quite do it right. She was like, what did you want to do?
They'll probably
So
give you the car and take it out of the dudes that offered it to you out of their pay.
This is Bible study. So I'm going to say this. Jesus is the I am identity. So when that owner called you back, what they were saying, like, so who's supposed to get crucified, me or you?
wrong.
The one holding the license is the
Absolutely.
only one that is the consumer. They're the taxpayer consumer in that transaction if they hold the license.
So what do they truly own? What is it that the owner owns?
I'm so glad you asked that, Coach, because the other word that shows up that you guys might not have seen, I might be in the wrong section, is consignment.
There you go. The production.
Consignment. Okay, it's not under this section, is it? No, it's not. It's not under this section. But that's the other term that came up. It says consignment. So the dealership does not actually own the car. It's funny because that's why we're here under this section. You see right here where it says a new motor vehicle is a vehicle that has not been titled by the state and ownership of which may be transferred on the manufacturer's statement of origin.
So instead of calling them car dealerships, let's call them what they are. They're automobile goodwill.
Yes, and they hold the possessory interest of the consignment of the production. They've got a right to profit if that's what they're going to do. But if
Do they have a right to profit? I mean, perhaps if they're offering it to another business that's in profit.
Yes, right.
But
if a
but
man
doesn't
comes in there-
Goodwill give you a tax write-off or some shit? Because that's what I hear. When I hear consignment, I hear Goodwill. I hear thrift store.
Goodwill definitely gives you a tax write-off.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, but you still have to take the receipt. We can't take receipt.
What I'm also saying is they did not transact for them clothes. Somebody
here.
dropped the clothes off, and then they may have washed them shits. I don't know, and then put them on a fucking hanger and was like, "Hey man, you want this? You should be able to be like, yeah, I want it for as much as you got it for."
It was a charitable donation.
Look at what it says. The same title, 46, motor vehicles. This section is what? Manufacturers and dealers, like I told y'all. Consignment. Dealers who transact dealer business by consignment, which is every single brand new car dealership, all of them, shall obtain a consignment contract for sale and shall comply with the applicable provisions of this section. That's all of them. All of them.
In a
So
trust
Melissa,
account. There's
Yeah.
somebody in a fucking trust account.
You know the dealership only make money. They only make money if you do down payments, right? And that's where they're making money from is the down payment. So they're trying to get you.
No, they're making money off the approval of the app, and then they're making money getting the loan in your name. That's twice.
That's true.
They're using your name to secure future funding.
Investments.
And then they're supposed to put it in a trust account. If you were to continue
They're
reading that,
brokering
it says
the
put it
deal.
in a trust account. Now listen, the thing is like, all right, so I've had people, and I'm not plugging myself as much as I'm just making a point. People have actually used their HSAs. That's a health savings account. And instead of them coming out of their pocket, quote unquote, to transact for a service from me, they'll have their health insurance company have me documented by the so-called invoice, as it's called for them, not what I call it. But they'll be like, oh, okay, you got this out of network service done for you. We'll reimburse you. And then if you look at what a health savings account is, which sounds like it's the same nature of that shit for consignment. All righty. What it is it's a 969 trust. If you guys look at the IRS, what they got is called as a 969 trust, is basically like, well, we can't tax it. So that means that the dealership's not even being, man.
It just means they don't actually own it. So
No, they don't own none of them.
the dealership
Correct.
is acting by consignment. So who are they to ask me to pledge the car to them?
They can't.
It's
what they're
kind of like
doing
the
is-
security guard at the. It's kind of like the security guard at the store. It don't belong to you.
Right.
It's like
Malika, they fucked up.
it's like the
They-
soldier of the cartel. It's like
They
the
did.
soldier of a cartel telling who they're dealing to, hey, you need to do this for me so that I can buck the
Yep.
kingpin.
They're doing trade, and they're making us.
They can
Yes.
do trade within their house, but all they are is stewards over it. And if no man shows up to claim what is steward over, guess what they have to do? They have to induce people to buy it.
Right. So I'm showing up to say, give me that one right there. And when they go, hey, we're going to need you to fill out this paperwork. What is my question?
Where's
Show me the
says I
law
have
that
to?
says so.
So I'm willing, because I'm willing to sign, guys. I'm willing to sign on an angle, sign in a special color, put a stamp, front and back, top and bottom. I'm willing.
Under
Okay.
the condition that they show you the law.
Yes, that's all
conditional
I'm
acceptance.
asking.
That's a conditional
That's
acceptance.
it. I'm gonna whatever you ask me to do. I'm
them to
here
do
to do
whatever for your
everything
benefit.
lawful.
That is an unlawful request of me because it's my presumption that I don't have a delegation authority to sign debt instruments, make securities, or deposit or withdraw of either.
You're not.
That's a good one.
Agent is doing
I
it.
got another question for him too. That
Agent is
is,
doing it. The
I think a
broker's
good
doing
question is does it have to be a first and last name signature? And they're going to say yes. And you know that using the last name puts you into Roman Civil Code, which puts us into everything that we just read.
They cannot.
No, you can split
Even
them.
if they say yes, you're stupid if you believe that, because even in the codes it says a signature is any mark you intend to be.
That's
used
true. But
as
if
your
you
signature.
willingly put the last name on there, that puts you into civil
It's not
code.
willing. You can put whatever you wish, is what the law says.
You can huck spit on it.
The law
have-
says any mark with
Yeah, it
the
has to be an
intent.
X. I get it, but there's also, that is the Roman. That's the Roman ways, the first and last name.
Nah,
It's nomen
well,
and the
if
cognomen.
you come up like a Roman soldier and instead of putting the X, you want to write whatever, that's nobody else's responsibility or fault of whatever they do with that.
Right. I'm saying that every form that comes out says nomen and cognomen, and as soon as you put that cognomen on there, you're agreeing to Roman Civil Code.
Again,
If
the
you
law
put it-
says any mark. You decide you want to put
Any
some
mark, and I
fancy
agree
shit.
with Hassan. I would put the four corners rule around it no matter what.
Oh
I
my lord!
again, we
Whew.
keep talking about
I'm
how
gonna
to
fucking
sign.
pass out over here.
We keep talking about how to sign when
You
I
could pass out,
cannot
or you could
find the
go
law
read
that says.
Chicago Styles Manual and see that there's
Listen,
something to it.
The Chicago
talking
Styles
about-
Manual does not apply to me, bro.
We keep talking about how to sign, but I'm trying to
Yeah.
find the law that says I need to sign.
It's not about applying to you. It's about lubricant.
You're right.
I-
Guarantee this
Happily
lawyer.
married woman.
They're an
Right.
attorney that's talking right now.
Well,
I'm a
he's
happily
right.
married
Okay.
woman.
Let's
Don't
talk
be
about
making
that.
no passes at me.
Talk about that.
Right.
Let's talk about that lubricant because everything's based on the petrodollar. So he's right. And from the
Right.
lubricant is gas, and he's putting on airs right now because he's gaslighting us. That's what's
Right.
happening.
Oh, here we go. I did have
Can I-
Title
can I-
48
We'll
on
talk
there.
about that shit. We'll talk about that shit.
Can I add real
I
quick?
do have Title 48
He's
on
talking
here. You
legal,
guys-
not law.
Hold on.
Talking
Here goes
bullshit.
Title 48, insurance. Here goes Title 48, insurance. This is what comes up when you start searching for the financing agreement and you start searching for these retail agreements. See right here where it says retail installment sales of goods and services?
When it says you agree on credit,
You who owe a debt to the United States,
purchase this.
agree on credit.
And what's credit? Credo, pledge, swearing. There's that lubricant to Bob. That dude want to talk about lubricant. There's that
And
religious
that's why they
conversion.
make you have to pledge collateral for these alleged loans, correct?
Sacrifice your savior all over again.
Okay, so y'all follow me. They try to make you give collateral. They try to make you give
That's right.
collateral for
And
the
go ahead.
alleged loan, right? We think we're getting the loan to do what? Get the thing. We think we're getting a loan to get the thing.
But in
Right?
all reality, they're purchasing.
Wait. Everybody follow me? We think we're
Mhm.
getting the loan first, right? To then buy the thing. Yes? Put a 1 in the chat. When
But
you
the
go get a
thing is
loan,
ours
it's to buy the
already.
thing. Now, their rules say that in order to get the loan, you have to pledge collateral first.
That's if you're calling it a loan. You're going
They're
along with
calling
the
it a
loan,
loan.
but it's not.
I'm not going to tell them that.
Look up loan.
We're
Let
going
me,
to go
the
with whatever
deposit is
they
a
are
loan.
saying.
Deposit is a loan.
They are saying they're giving you a loan. You
We're
think you're
saying
getting a
they're-
loan. You think you're getting a loan to buy the thing. But the law says that you're supposed to pledge something as collateral to get the loan.
Yeah.
So
Because loan,
can you pledge
If
the
you're getting a
car that
loan,
you don't own yet? Can you
what are
pledge
they
the
pledging?
house that you do not own yet?
Federal
No.
Reserve notes.
No
loan,
Right.
signature.
loan means to lend owning. You already have to have it to loan it.
Already, I think
Ownership.
everybody on here
Ownership.
will confess truthfully that they thought they went to apply for a loan to get the rules
Absolutely.
say you have to pledge something to get the loan.
It's because a
You
loan is
cannot pledge unless you own it.
a loan is a gift.
And you cannot pledge something you don't own. So if in fact you are allowed to pledge the car or the house or the kids or your spouse,
What you really pledge is the paperwork.
Wrong.
Exactly. You're in
No.
collusion.
you're
It's a comp-
using the paperwork to commensurate the pledging. But the paperwork is not what anyone thinks that they're pledging, not yourself, nor the people on the other side of the transaction.
It's your word. It's your bond. A loan is a contribution to public finance. You have to be loaning them. You have to have it. And that's the only thing you got when you walk in there is your word. That's it.
So if they're giving you, if they're allowing you to pledge the thing that you think you're buying, it's only one of two things. It's only one of two things. You either really do already own it, which means you don't have to pledge it for a loan because you already have it,
3-card Monte.
or you in there doing what Charles said, selling paperwork
I'm gonna have to go get
for a loan that they won't give you.
I'm gonna have to go get a
Here's the
goddamn
deal.
car.
Basically on your title.
Basically doing what?
Basically on your title.
They don't even ever show you. They don't even ever have the title. But remember, they don't own it. It's consignment.
He said,
They have
"Oh,
a
dude."
title.
They can keep the title.
Yeah, I don't
I
care
don't
what
need
you
it.
do with the
I
title.
don't give a fuck
Not-
who's holding that legal paper.
Not a one single damn. And I don't care if they make a gazillion, squillion,
They'll never have an
quadrants.
actual, they'll never have an actual title because remember they're subsidized under the Secretary of Commerce, and no state, right, can make titles of nobility.
The title
They'll
is
never,
the
they'll
receipt.
never have any title.
The title is the receipt that goes in the file saying the production has been made.
So let's read this, guys, because this is the
Hold on.
retail
Hold on.
installment sales of goods and services. Find the equivalent. Find the equivalent in the state code near yourself. It says
Can I
this
make-
act
can I
shall
make
be
a quick-
cited as the Washington Lease Purchase Agreement Act.
You cannot separate loan from shark.
Here's what's funny, guys. They talk about, and this is again why people tell me they're running registered trusts They're running, they're acting as a fiduciary on behalf of the name and all this stupid shit that we keep trying to pretend to be a bank organized under Title 12. We keep trying to pretend to be a bank. We keep trying to pretend to be a financial institution. And we got gurus out here telling us that we should be pretending to be a financial institution. Look at this. Because a financial institution means any person.
It's the estate.
You keep talking about the estate, and I have no documentary evidence of an existence of such a state.
They already charged your estate.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They charged your fucking estate on your charges.
I don't know
down
what
over
you're saying. What you're saying has to exist first in order for what you're saying to make sense.
That's how they got away.
I don't
They-
have
they-
any
they-
estate.
They created a
That's
charitable
what-
trust. They
If
created
hold
a
on. If whoever they is created something, whose own is it? If they
belongs to
created
them.
it, whose own is it?
It belongs to them.
So
We-
if it
and
belongs
when
to
we-
them,
and- right.
why the hell do y'all
Right.
keep bringing it up, talking
Well, that's
about
because-
me?
Well, that's because we were all indoctrinated into using that estate name, which belongs to whatever state you were born in, that the hospital created. and
You
the
don't know who created it,
documentation-
and because it
it's a-
ain't
it's a-
yours,
it's a-
it's none of your business.
Oh no! You. There is evidence of who created it because it's on that birth certificate.
It's not
There are
evidence of
m-
who
there-
created it.
there-
It's
there
evidence
are
that it
several
has
entities-
anything to do actually with me. Because
No,
if it's theirs,
it
I don't
No,
care
it doesn't.
nothing about
no,
it.
it only
How does
has
it-
something. It
how
only
does it
has
not?
something to do with you. It only has something to do with you when you acknowledge the name. The name
I
is
don't know
the
nothing about
the
that.
name is what
It's
was
unlawful
incorporated.
conversion,
All
unlawful
your
joinder.
properties, all your properties are in the estate name. What the fuck ever you're
No,
talking.
I totally
All
disagree.
your properties.
Unlawful
in the estate
conversion,
name.
unlawful joinder.
It is.
Not, I don't know what.
Confirmation of fraud.
If
But
I didn't make it,
Malika,
I didn't
you
make
never,
it.
you
It
never,
has
you've
0%
been to
to
jail.
do
You
with
never
me.
been to jail. Look, you never been to jail. When you go to jail,
You're
when,
too smart
when most of us as men, we have been incarcerated at some point and kidnapped off the
Fraud,
street, right?
personation,
For
personation.
shit, right? But when people put in, like, somebody come in, put some money on your books, right? You was talking about you were talking about earlier a few weeks ago. Y'all had been kept bringing up it's an account. It's this and that. Look, when you get your receipt in jail, it tells you right on there with that legal name attached to it. It is a trust account, and that is
I
all
don't know
monitored
why.
by the.
Okay, I think I understand why
But
people
no,
are
this
confusing
is
it.
living proof, though. This is living proof. So we're not talking about something that you don't know about.
It's
Amen.
not
We
living.
are.
When
Okay,
someone
it's
is
a
in
dead
jail,
entity. It's
when
a dead
someone is in
entity.
jail,
Bobby,
they
I
are
can
presumed
understand that. I
they
can
are
understand that,
presumed to be in
but-
there
but
as an
exactly.
agent.
It's
When you're
always
in
a
jail,
presumption.
you are acting as an agent. You're put in jail.
No,
Yes.
you didn't.
Volunteer.
You
It
did
don't
not know
matter
that
if you know.
It does.
And
You have
Charles
to
and a
have.
lot of people are out here telling
what's up.
people to use those numbers that show they are acting in an agency capacity.
This is
You're
what
acting
You
in
were
an agent
enumerated.
capacity.
You were enumerated at birth.
I was
You
not
were
enumerated at birth. I
Oh.
was not enumerated at birth.
If that's the case, we would have been, our ass would have been stamped with numbers, a barcode. My
That
ass
would have came out my mama with a number on me if I was enumerated at birth. And I
All
keep
you
telling
guys do is
y'all
confuse
over
people.
and over
You just
again,
confuse
I was not born on any land called anything that is the United States of America. So don't tell me I
Here.
was
You have to
enumerated at
acknowledge-
birth. I was not.
You're
Where
here.
is he,
Ever.
Charles?
But how long did it take for you to
It,
come to
I
that
don't. It does
summation?
not matter.
What
If I did not create it, it's not mine. If
So
you
you didn't,
created
like
it,
I said
you
before,
cannot
didn't
lawfully
create
attach
for
it to
trust.
me without my express written consent.
Two
It's as
grown-
simple as
Right,
that.
and that's the point we're getting to now, and you're absolutely right on that part.
That's
But it
not the
takes a
point that
long
we're
time-
getting to now because I'm not inventing this common sense. I'm not inventing common sense.
No, it's not. It's not you're inventing anything. What it is that the thing that has entrapped all of us over a lifetime that people have been consuming and have been living under, and you had no idea that you were living under such a pretense.
You had some idea, you just
the
didn't
fictional
give a
world.
fuck.
That's right.
You knew you was doing some bullshit because you're using numbers that are not yours.
I mean,
And you
grown
literally know no one is unaware that they didn't make that account. No
Again,
one
we're
is
playing
unaware
outside
that
the
they
game.
did
Play it
not
without-
make that account.
You can't play the game without.
Ignorance of the law is not an excuse ever.
Thank you.
I
You can't
can't.
play
I
the
can't believe grown men make so much bullshit excuses and so much
game
confusion.
without the fucking piece.
It's just. It's insane.
Live men and women do not exist in a fictional fucking realm. Period.
Yes, they do.
They don't.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
do. Who you
do.
think is sitting in jail? It ain't your birth certificate and it ain't your license in there.
Exactly. Great point.
It's
Great
you.
point.
It's you, dummy. It's you.
Because
Who's
Because you
incarcerated?
were acting as an agent for a number,
No. So you didn't.
and then you got
express-
arrested
you
and
didn't
still
express-
kept acting as the agent for
so
an
you didn't
agency.
express it. And that's
And
how we
100% of everybody in jail, 100% of them that got in there under a code are in there because they were acting as an agent.
Under code. Under code.
Under a code, if you're in jail under a code, you are in jail because
with a
you
code
were
and a
But
fine.
yeah, but you were in there under the false pretense
Don't
because
matter.
you didn't
You're
know
safe.
any better.
Yeah, but it's still ignorant.
absolutely ignorant.
And ignorance of the law is
And
an
that's
excuse
volunteer.
when you don't know no better.
No, it ain't.
When you don't know no better, it's more than just the ignorance of the law. That you can be not cognizant of what they're trying to present as law, because it's only morality. See, that's when you go against God's law and goes to man's law. And
Morpheus,
see, we lost morality.
did you
Real
did you
law
get your
is
truck out of jail,
morality,
Morpheus?
not motherfucking goddamn law.
Did you get your
Law
truck out of
is
jail,
if
Morpheus?
anything legal is unlawful.
Did you get your truck out of jail?
a question.
Hold on, guys. Hold on a second. Y'all, because y'all taking over my
Bobby, you can shut the fuck
presentation.
up.
Did you get your mama's Social Security back?
Cut it out, Bobby.
Did you get your mama's Social Security, bitch?
Stop
Yeah.
it. Hey, guys, stop it. Stop it. Okay? Because we're at the point where everybody realizes what's going on, but we want to know, how are we moving forward? What I'm saying is I'm going to stand on law. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care how nobody feel about it.
Plenty of law.
And the law that
Well,
I'm going to
motherfucking
stand
ass
on,
is the
the law
agent.
I'm standing on
We
is
asked the
natural.
IRS agent.
The law I'm standing on is natural law. Natural law says one can control what one creates. Does anybody disagree with that natural law? Does
That's a no
anybody
question.
agree with the natural law and maxim that one can only control what one creates?
That's cool.
Yeah, I
However,
love that. Let's start from there.
however, they still
Right.
can.
So who created the
They
goddamn
still
driver's
can't-
license? Who created the birth
Right.
certificate? The
They
state.
still can
The state.
administrate.
The state of. Who created that?
Yeah, okay, but who created the misconception that when the driver's license is called, Malika got to drag her ass anywhere?
My mama, my daddy, my friends.
I'm gonna mute Bobby Mike.
I'll digress.
Where they fucked up at is that when they emailed you, they're supposed to be emailing like kind. So they figured that you were some kind of,
That's all they can work with. A person. That's all they're presuming. They're presuming they're talking to a person.
They didn't expect They didn't
The
expect
office
to
of
meet
person was
you.
created with the birth certification and the marriage certificate. That's how
The
it was
state.
created.
I don't
The
care nothing
office of
about that.
person.
The office of person is the prodigal son to be
Nigga,
crucified over again.
you the office of person.
No, I ain't.
Morpheus might be the office of person
Well, we know he is.
because that's all some people seem to be focused on. They keep being focused on this. They got me acting as a person. You got yourself acting as a person because I'm over here showing where it says, in order for me to qualify to be in this.
Bobby, my motherfucking name no more, and I ain't gonna say your bitch ass name no more.
Oh
Don't
my
say shit to me, nigga.
Stop it. Stop it, guys. Okay? Save your anger. Save your anger and channel it towards the people that you think are harming you in your real life. We got too much background noise on top of the foreground noise, okay? So find the section of your code that talks about this retail installment sales of goods and services, and then see that both parties involved in this retail installment agreement seem to have to be acting as a financial institution, because the definition of financial institution is one qualified to conduct business in one of the United States of America pursuant to the laws of the United States of America.
Legal-
Financial institutions. And we all know that fictional agencies and institutions can only act through their agents. Keep that in mind. So if both parties have to be persons act on behalf of an institution, then even if you want to see yourself as a whatever you want to see yourself, if you're participating by signing things, okay, even if you want to tell yourself, I'm not a financial institution, I'm a real boy. When you sit down at that table attempting to sign, this is what their definitions are governing the contract.
Well, the boy is subjective there because the root of finance is Nance, and that goes to a Nancy boy, which is an effeminate man. That's because you don't research words, Charles. You
It's
just use them
okay.
off the-
Let's go from the definitions in the codes, because I don't think that we need the other things, because even these definitions, people are still somehow twisting it to try to make it seem like they're doing something that they're not doing.
So one quick statement. If I tell you I'm asking for the instrument on the underlying obligation so that I can make it payable, then that should let you know, obviously, that they know as well what the fuck I mean. So I don't understand why you don't understand what I'm saying about the endorsement.
Because you don't know what an endorsement is.
Why is it that you think I don't understand what you're saying about the endorsement?
Or you're saying that it's, you're never minded, whatever, you know what I'm saying.
Okay, what I am saying about the endorsement, and I'm going to try to clarify because I want to make sure we're on the same page. That's very important to me. I'm saying that signing, however you want to call it, signing, autographing, signaturing, endorsing, okay? I understand that. But once you are doing it on a piece of paper that they're calling an installment and sales agreement, okay? What again, endorsing, signing, autographing, regardless of what you want to call it, something that shows a living man read and comprehended and agreed to something in there because they put a sign of that, a symbol of that with their hands. Okay? Once that is happening, it seems to me that this is what's governing the contract. These terms is what they think is somehow being agreed to. They're saying the goods, and this is where you're correct, Charles, the goods means chattel personnel, chattel's personal, which includes, because I should highlight, the term includes the paperwork. See, it includes the certificates, the coupons issued by a retail seller to be used in their face amount in lieu of cash in exchange for goods and services sold by the seller. The goods is the certificates and coupons and paperwork and stuff like that.
So if we do it right, we'll get fucking paid.
And I'm saying that when you're doing it, even if you get paid, it's as a person. That's all I'm saying.
Your person, yeah. Is it the state, the fucking all caps, the
No,
social?
no. You're just doing it as an agent for the agency whose numbers you used, whether it's a SIN, a EIN, a TIN, or any other N.
Well, I don't feel like you're really doing anything except for initialing, but the fucking guy who's the dealer is actually your agent, broker / creditor, whatever you want to fucking call it, acting on your behalf.
Not until you express it.
And you
Right.
can do that on the applicant.
Right.
You
So
just
we're
read
we're
that
saying the
404.
same thing. We're saying the same thing. If you're gonna do it the regular way as an agent, then do it all the way as an agent.
3-402.
That's still for an agent. Still,
It's the-
UC. Why would you use the non-law UCC, which is only for agents that are operating
It's on
in
the
commerce?
commercial. It's commerce, right? They're doing commerce.
Yeah,
They're doing commerce. I'm saying I am not doing commerce. I'm doing. Give me that one right over there.
that's
They
the
need
difference.
something to broker to deal with. They need
I
they need a
understand that.
number.
They need
and
something.
yeah,
But
and if
what
you
the
and if you and
what
if you look
law
at the
says they
Right.
have to get it from me?
if you look at the UCC, if you look at the UC form, it has a box on that form, and where you can mark non-UCC, and so there is a way even in commerce. You can look at you can pull it up right now. UCC 1 any of that shit. There's a box on there that many people don't see that says non-UCC.
And
Where you're
is
just
the
doing
definition of non-UCC defined under the UCC?
you're just doing. You're supposed to be a reporter. See,
No,
you're
I'm supposed to be a reporter.
A reporter of the transactions.
No.
The reporter.
No.
The reporter.
If I'm
You have
doing
to
a
be a
private
reporter,
transaction, whose
You
business
have to
is it?
report the transactions that
I'm not
these
reporting
business
nothing.
entities.
I'm not an agent. Why am I responsible for? This is why Charles want to get paid, because he want
No,
to act
but
like
you
an
are,
agent.
but you are a living soul operating in the commercial
No, I'm not.
enterprise.
You cannot tell me I am.
You're trying
That
to
is
do it.
what you're describing is the definition of a person acting as an agent. A man or woman, living soul, flesh and blood, breathing in and out, okay? Acting on behalf of a corporation, association, or any other group, however organized. I'm not doing that.
It's supposed to be trade, but you're saying you're going to go in there and not trade anything and just get the car.
That's right. We're not traders, god damn it. Say it
If
again.
it's all
Stop.
prepaid, how are you going to say it's all prepaid, but then I still have to do some other special
Oh, shit.
transaction?
Special? It ain't nothing special about it.
Of course it's special.
You're trading that consumer paper for the right.
But I
You're not
already
giving up
I
your
already
right.
traded something so that you could build the car in the first place. I gave you the thing to build the car.
What thing?
Whatever you
Blades
used to
and
build the car.
the 73rd Congress.
Whatever you used to build the car, I gave it to you.
The people
I
get
don't care what you want to call it.
When you sign that application for the
I'm
credit
not
for the
signing
car,
shit. Why we keep going back to that? I'm not signing shit.
whenever you surmise going to the dealership, they're gonna send that application to the Bureau of Public Debt, not to the Treasury. They're supposed to send those
I
instruments
don't
to
care.
the Secretary of the Treasury, who is
are we talking
responsible
about
for
what
the
they have
public
to
debt.
do with their shit?
It's not their shit. This is how we.
That's the financing paperwork.
This is how we were supposed to be operating in their commerce system.
Nah.
You can't live without commerce because all
Stop
commerce
it.
is.
I'm gonna mute you. Anybody thinking that you cannot live without commerce, I want you to leave this call and never come back. If you actually believe in your heart
That's wrong,
that
Malika.
you
That's
have
wrong
to
for you
do
to say
some
that.
special
That's wrong for you to
contortion,
say that.
if you think you have to do some special contortion to exercise your dominion, your actual dominion,
So
then
you're telling
either you don't know what dominion is or you just out here talking shit.
You don't
Everything
fill
I
out the
do is-
application.
everything we do, we have to fill out an application.
No, we don't.
No,
Yeah,
you
man.
can do it in lieu of form
God
and
damn, I
have
can't-
them fill out their applications for what they need.
Okay,
to do
I'm
their
gonna need somebody to answer this question before we keep going. Because if it's prepaid, that means something was given in advance. Yes or no?
Correct. That is correct.
For the people who
Right.
who they seem to be disagreeing with me. In order,
What
if
do
you
you-
think
what do you-
everything is prepaid, if everything is prepaid, that means something had to be given in advance. Yes?
Correct. Oh, you said
Yeah.
Is that not
Something
us
had to
being
be given
born?
to them in advance for it to be prepaid. Yes or no?
Is that
As
not
soon-
them?
it-
us
it-
being
it-
born?
it-
Hold on. Is that not us being born and them creating it?
Oh my God! Can you?
No, to be
Yes,
born is to be
and
filed
and
in
as
the
soon as
state.
and as soon as they
Give me the definition.
and as soon as they transfer,
Okay,
as soon as they
let's
take,
say
soon as
it's
they take their application,
because y'all can't seem to answer yes or no.
No, they can't.
The
They can't.
application when you fill out
but,
the
but
birth.
when they do the transfer, right at the point of sale.
Why
They
y'all
do the
acting as
transfer.
if banks only existed after socials? What's wrong with y'all? Banks only existed after birth certificates?
Soon as they
Did
transfer
banks
to the third
exist
party, if
before
this
or after birth certificates? Okay, so the banks existed before the birth certificates. So why y'all seem to not comprehend banking until birth certificates started? For some reason, y'all keep going only to there.
That wasn't taught in the package bought.
Why do y'all only start at birth certificates as if banks did not exist and the country, so-called America, did not exist for over 265 years?
Because they've never read the
that-
definition
that-
of application, or they wouldn't be talking like this.
man, look,
I
that
just
was
know
that was the
application
port
is
of
money.
entry.
You guys
That
know
was the port of entry is the birth certificate
Oh,
that was
fuck.
created by the state. God damn it, and they transferred it to the Department of Commerce and put it into the public registry. That's where
Emotional His video on
You're not saying what we don't know. We're over here like, and so fucking what?
Yes, thank you.
Y'all keep going back to, well, they did it, like, so the fuck what?
you gotta get to the point of contention where when you recognize that you can defend it. And
No,
you can-
we're not in contention. We're not in contention.
We're not up to
I don't understand why people who just got here a month or two or a week or two ago seem to grasp this concept very clearly. But the ones who have been with me for years are missing this. How is it if it's prepaid? If it's prepaid, why I got to give? I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just asking
right.
for us to
I'll
follow
say
this
you're
thought.
right.
If it's prepaid, what justifies me giving you anything else in addition?
we all have been sucked into the
Stop it,
value
Morpheus.
system.
Stop talking because you're not answering my question.
My man
Not
don't want
answering
to
my
go to hell
question.
by himself.
Charles and Morpheus should be the ones answering these questions to lead them through an understanding of what's going
You
on.
keep talking. You can't nobody else talk.
Well, you can't answer a fucking question.
I asked a yes or no question. Y'all can't answer.
When I fucking bring up the fact that our electric company, which was what Tisa was going over, right? It was prepaid. The accounts were paid through the treasury. Correct? Correct? Or am I wrong or right?
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Were they paid
Correct.
through the
True story.
treasury? Off payments or goddamn wire transfer?
Yes,
Right? Okay, so what accounts are they talking about?
Theirs.
accounts receivables.
Theirs.
The fucking social you gave them.
So did the treasury exist without socials?
I mean, you're asking all this stuff. That shit is irrelevant.
My God.
You see the law. You see the
Yes.
You seen their charter or whatever the fuck it is.
If it's prepaid, what law or reason justifies me having to give again when I come through the front door?
There is one. We're not supposed to be paying again. You're right. We're supposed to be getting paid.
There is no money.
You don't come to me with that bullshit.
Man,
we're
and everything.
So
everything.
what you're saying that when I go in the dealership, I'm not here for the car. I'm here so you can pay me because I signed a
Yep.
piece of paper.
That's it. They
Yep,
want
you're supposed to get that.
Hold
yep,
on,
you're
wait.
supposed
I'm
to get the-
asking Charles. I'm asking y'all follow why I'm asking this question.
You fill out the fucking
So
paperwork.
so I'm not there for the car, right? Is what you're saying.
You're there to sell the paper. That's what
I'm
you're
only
there for.
so then why
application
I'm
is a
I'm
warrant.
talking about getting the car.
The application
You're
is a
saying you're
warrant.
not there for the car.
Well, you're there for the car. That's obvious. But they're there for the business, which is selling the paper and buying the paper.
But I'm only here for the car.
I know what you were here for.
Okay.
But that's
I
what
don't
they're-
want to
that's
do
what
that
they're
other
saying.
transaction. I'm only
They're
here for the
saying-
car.
That's what they're doing.
But
That's
I'm
what
not
they're
here for
doing.
that
There
transaction.
must be consideration.
Who are they doing it to?
Can I just get a quick emotional outburst?
Sure.
Okay, so again, I keep hearing these two different persons, right? Or these two different entities. One is the people, Malik.
Yes.
Malik is the people.
Right.
So the government in 1933 took the money from the people, and they created this game, this new game, and they said in order to play the game, you got to be a person.
Yes.
But the people could still do people shit.
Thank you.
And if persons want to play the game because we the persons don't understand how the game works because they can
No,
switch your shit up
that's
at any
not it.
time.
We
So
understand
persons
that.
can play a person game and people could still do people shit.
Yes.
And not play the game. And
Not play the game. Yeah, yeah. So let's understand that there is a game called commerce that they
Yes.
use this numbers with.
Yes.
Birth certificate, social, hypothecation, all that bullshit.
Yes.
So in the democracy within the new system.
Yes.
But there is still the republic.
Democracy.
The people live. The people said, listen, I ain't a part of the democracy. I'm a part of the republic. I'm still over here. Let me do republic shit.
That's right.
But we probably don't know how to keep the republic. We probably
Right.
don't know the republic ways because
Right.
you're taught monopoly shit.
Correct.
So guess what? If we don't know the republic ways and we don't know the person ways, what ways are left? My way, a living soul man's way, to request what I deem an equitable necessity from the military productions of the raping and pillaging of Mother Earth, because they were already mine to begin with.
Because what Charles is saying is that when they don't pay you, they are in breach. And he is correct. If you're playing that side of the game, he is 100% correct. But what we're talking about is, do I have to always pretend to be an agent? Do my rights somehow change because they made the SSA and connected it to the Treasury? Does my dominion somehow change? If it's
Rights and
prepaid,
dominion,
if it's
and
prepaid,
dominions are two
then
different
why
things.
do I actually have to contort myself some special way when I come through the front door if it's prepaid already?
Well, they ain't gonna fucking tell you that.
I'm not
So in other
expecting them
words,
to tell me that.
someone can opt out of the game and go to a cabin and be naked and afraid somewhere and be okay. That's basically what they can do.
Yes, because here's what I'd like that you made that example, because here's what I came back to show you guys. On the legal side or law side, I already got them the dealership. I already got them by the balls. I showed y'all that already, right?
Correct.
I already
You
got them.
have to come in and play that game to get what you want.
Okay, so what are the
Yeah, you're
qualifications of
saying,
playing
hold
commerce
on,
games?
hold on. The game I'm playing, like I told y'all a few minutes ago, is based on natural law.
Right.
Natural law. Not any other, not consumer law. Because every time I read those, to me, they just support natural law. To me, when I look at this, it's saying if you want to be involved in this retail installment sales contract, this is the capacity, this is what's happening, this is what's going on between these people. So when I read this, I'm like, okay, so, and I already knew that it wasn't for private people, but you got to go in there and read it for yourself and see. So when they start trying to ask you, well, are you going to provide me the business license? No, the business license would only evidence that I was there to do a business transaction in interstate and foreign commerce. So I'm not going to give you that.
Like you said in the traffic ticket, you're not at work, right?
Right.
Off the clock.
I'm not at work, but these, even to sign, endorse, or whatever, presumes, even though you might not be, it presumes you are at work.
But you're restricting. I'm saying restrict your endorsement on the check because that's all of the fucking.
I am restricting it.
Yeah.
I'm restricting it too.
Since
It's
they're
like
called.
It's like a restricted appearance.
The restriction is X.
To create a spell, spelling it with words to create a.
Yes, because an endorser is a sodomite. A sodomite.
Malika.
Yes.
So all these issues that everybody has that are on the call are against their state, their person. Period. It's that. I mean, it don't get no simpler than that.
It cannot be against my person.
So you're telling me,
Girl, you just having a hard time in taking that.
I'm not having a hard time. I'm having a very easy time.
My question: how long have you been an agent in order to have that kind of a person? Because that kind of a person can only be registered with the state. Once it's registered with the state, then it sounds like you're qualified to play the commerce game. If you're not registered with the state.
And what do you think that what our parents did without your consent as a minor as a
Well, I
child or
don't know.
infant,
It's
as
a
a child
guarantee
or
in
as a child,
contract.
as a child or
I
as a
have
child or
no knowledge.
you didn't qualify for no birth
That's
certificate. You didn't qualify.
I
That
don't.
is a military. That is the military instrument.
But
that
why
you
are
were
you
drafted
so
into the
again?
military.
So what,
Then why are
Morpheus?
you operating in military commerce?
So what?
You
We
didn't
all
know that until you became of age to know. You
yeah,
didn't
but
know
so
that
No,
until
what
you
is the
studied.
issue? Again,
That's
so
an assumption.
what? What are we gonna
So
do
you
now? Are we gonna still pretend that we're agents?
Yep, yep.
I'm a guard. I'm a guard my person.
Are you
See,
gonna pretend that you're an
That's
agent?
the,
That's my
the,
question.
the
Call it what
first
you
thing
want.
I learned, the first thing I
Yes or
learned
no,
in law,
Morpheus? Are
the
you gonna continue to pretend to be an agent? Yes or no?
hell to the no.
then why
Hell
would
to the
you
no.
lie
But the first thing, the first thing I learned in life, the very first thing I learned in life was the separation between me and a woman. Okay, I had a dick and she had a pussy, and so I could either be a pussy and have a dick, or I could be a pussy with a dick, and I knew I had to separate myself right there.
Well, that's
So are
animalistic
you still
behavior.
getting fucked?
What that is, and that's what they go by. They go by physicality. You're either going by the fetal or the maternal. So what you're talking about, fetal, is physical separation
It's
of man.
animal. It's called animal husbandry.
Sure.
That's
Why
what
you
the
doing
fuck
it
is.
then? Why you doing it then?
Because some
I'm not
people.
doing it. I'm not doing it. No,
You
I
said you
disqualified.
separated.
No. I said, God damn it. Am I talking to a hoe or a nigga with some balls?
I got some balls because I'm talking to a fool.
Hey guys, I'm gonna need y'all to stop talking to each other if that's how we're gonna communicate.
I just
Okay?
want to know, what is McReal and Morpheus qualifications to do what they're saying people to do? I just want to know what's the qualifier.
I think it's
Just
just
straight.
for Charles. I'm not
The
talking for
fucking
him if he's still on. Are you still on here, Charles?
yeah. The state is not your fucking. I mean, it's your name based on your name. You got the fucking title. You got the birth certificate. You got everything you need. So what the hell?
I don't have any paperwork. I don't
Right, I
have
don't
any
have those
paperwork.
things either.
Have any paperwork for a person.
So what happens with all your belongings when you die?
It goes right back into the box. What I done said.
All right.
to the
I
state.
wanna
It goes
outburst on
right
this
back in the
one.
box.
I wanna outburst on this one, right? There is with the real people not in the game, they have a thing called hereditamus, where you could pass on your estate to your heirs. The moment you go in the game, shit, you don't have none of that.
No, it goes to probate, and then you gotta fight.
They pull you into the game. They don't matter.
There you
And
go.
if you
Correct.
die in the game, playing the game, you're gonna
They
be
pull you into
non-descendable.
the game. Guy,
Right.
fella, listen.
It's a legacy account they trying to trap.
They are charging the estate all the way around. Don't give a fuck what nobody say. You get a ticket.
They're charging the estate.
Charge
That is
State.
such a strange
Third
thing.
estate.
got
Third
That
property.
is such a I don't even understand when the words when you say that.
They're not. They're when you got properties there in the fucking all kinds
Estates.
I don't have properties.
I don't have property. I mean, what is the estate, Charles?
Let's start off with the definition of these terms.
So,
Define estate.
so the only thing in the estate is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, is what you're saying. Letters. Straw man is you're saying the straw man is a name. The straw man is a name, right? Names include letters. So you're
It's the
saying the
person,
alphabet is the estate.
Letters are
your
marquee.
person, your individual, which is more than one, all fucking combined to make all the bullshit that they're.
So it's only words, is what you're saying. The estate is words.
Now what the fucking house and shit is in?
I don't know. So words are the estate.
My house ain't in nothing.
So
It is.
so hold on. Are words the estate? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't know what the
part of the-
estate is that you're
It's
describing.
part of the. It's the monopoly fucking piece that owns the properties
Estate.
on the board.
So that's the whole
Okay,
estate.
on the board. Okay,
So the
I like
estate,
that.
the estate is a symbol. Because please help me understand. I really am trying to understand because to me it sounds like a bunch of unnecessary bullshit, and I'm trying to understand why some of my friends want to do it.
Okay, Malika. So the estate
estate
is
is the
is
registration.
the car and the monopoly.
It's all commerce.
These businesses cannot talk.
I
to
want to be specific because apparently I'm missing something. So I want to be very specific what we're talking about. So
Yeah,
when
but-
I start looking at words, okay, I go from the definitions. This says an area of land. Is that what you guys are talking about?
You can't just make it up. Yes, it has
The,
to go.
the interest which
Hold
anyone
on.
has in
Hold
land.
on. This is actually saying, okay, it's an area of land. This is saying it's money and property.
This
Charles
is-
seems to be saying it's words on a paper, like
And
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, if you answer by that.
And this is saying it's rank, standing, and condition. So it can't be. He can't just make it up. He has to pick one to go by.
So please tell us, when you guys say the straw man is the estate, what definition are you using for the word estate?
I'm not even going off a fucking definition. I'm going off a fucking actual being in there and doing this damn shit.
That doesn't make it so anybody else could comprehend what you're saying. When you use the word estate.
Well, I know this.
Hold on, Morpheus, because I really want to know the definition of estate you guys are using. I'm not even joking. I want to know. Tell me what, when you say estate.
The definition of their estate.
Morpheus, let me get it. Now, when my mom passed, it's this fucking simple. The shit went to probate. And what do they call her all caps name? The estate. That's wow.
So is she
Don't care what law.
land? Is she money? Is she property owned by the state?
He's saying she didn't even
No,
exist.
she wasn't owned by the they wasn't owned by the state. That's why I'm the
It
heir.
had
and
to
I
be
can
in order
control
for it to get to probate.
Well, then how the fuck can I be? How can I be the heir and control it?
The certificate of registry is what they claim. They create a firm.
I
They
don't
create
know.
a
I'm going to
secondary
end
firm.
it here,
Bobby,
guys.
get the fuck up.
This is an impossible conversation to have because you guys cannot actually tell me
He was
what
able.
Definition.
He was able.
What definition you're even using?
He was able to control
with the court
because of legal survivorship. That's all.
When they come with the court paperwork, Bobby, the all cap name estate. It's that simple.
But even if it okay, so are you saying that if they put all lowercase letters and estate, that would mean that's not the estate?
Must be.
I'm not saying that, but you know, goddamn well they don't do that when they talk to us.
I'm just asking you. So if they remove the shift button, if they took the all caps key off,
Persons can't talk to other persons.
Persons cannot talk to other persons. I don't understand why you're saying that. Persons do talk to other persons all the time.
They never owned.
Where's the Bible study, man? Y'all don't understand. It's a spiritual thing.
It's still,
yes.
Thank you. It's still in my mother's name.
It's still in the state's name.
You're under
it's
spell.
the
People are
state's
still under
name.
spell.
Your mother was never that name.
If it was the state, it would be the state coming
The
after.
name is the name was given to her. She's a spirit.
If you say that again, say that last thing again, Charles.
I said, if it was the state, then they'd be the ones coming after.
But they are the ones coming after it.
What's probate?
That's what probate is.
Probate means to prove.
Probate is the state coming after your shit.
It's the masturbator.
Actually, it wasn't. It was actually a fucking attorney / estate recovery.
Yeah, son.
And who did they get? Who did they get their certificate to do that from?
Shit, I don't know. Probably nobody.
Attorney.
Where do attorneys get their certificate, guys? Where do attorneys get their certificate from? Who do they get it from? Say it again. The state. So if an attorney is coming after you, who is coming after you? The state.
So the attorneys are state deputies.
Thank you. The attorneys are state agents.
So you know what? Like I said, properties in the state name, period. So how can you not know? How can you just? I mean, I know you haven't seen it, but how does that not make sense?
Because
it doesn't make sense because I don't know your definition of estate. And we're having a conversation about estate, and I can't understand what you're talking about because I don't know what definition. And I know some people might be thinking I'm being a bitch or a dick or
no, you're not.
I don't understand how we have conversations when we don't agree on the terms that we're using. in the
When did
conversation.
the consent happen?
That's what happens when you talk to one USC, one insane person.
That's
Did the
what
consent
happens.
happen?
That's what happens in all contracts. There's never full disclosure or never a meeting of the minds. So it's all fraud.
Legal contracts,
So you're
unconscionable
saying
unilateral contracts.
So what you're saying to me then is basically that a man and a woman are the ones that are having to show up and be in the courtroom. They're not talking to nobody else.
What I'm saying is the man and the woman that's being called upon never ever qualified for the transaction being asked to be completed.
No, they're calling your
What I'm
person,
saying is just at the end of this document where we talked about this right here, Justem Generis, which is where we started.
If you can't even understand what I'm saying, then how can you understand the disqualification?
Well,
I'm
because
trying to understand your definition of estate so that we can have a conversation about
Who are
Well,
they?
what an
it's two
estate
different
is.
estates.
When they call
It's
you
two.
into court, when they initiate the case, like I've been going over the fiduciary relationship, what are they fiduciary over you or your person?
Charles, do you know what a faction is?
If I didn't give them any consent, Charles, they're not a
That's what I'm
fiduciary
saying.
over anything. They're just inland pirates.
Right. And what I'm saying is they use your name, right?
No, they used a name.
Can I
They
ask
used
them?
a name.
Can I ask them too a question?
No, wait. Me and Charles we're gonna have this out again.
Okay.
They're using a name, Charles.
Hey.
So how do you open an account?
They use a name.
And identity stuff.
They
Right.
opened the account. They used a
On
name.
you- On you to come in and relieve them of that fucking duty.
I'm
That's a
not gonna
great
do
point.
anything.
A name.
They
Well,
used
it's-
a name.
It's got to be a name attached to a number, rank, name, and serial number. Three, the Trinity has to be there for perform legal activity.
What you're
So
telling me,
let me ask you a
there's no
question.
ident-
Let me ask you a
there's no
question.
identity
Let me
theft
ask
in
you a
this.
question. Do you know what the word faction means?
It's only identity theft, Charles, after
Yeah.
they say that they were trying to use my name. If they say they were trying to talk to me, if that was their intent, then it is identity theft.
They created the name though, Malika.
No, they
created
did not. My daddy gave me that name.
No, your
Stop
daddy
saying
might have
that
gave
shit.
you your
Morpheus
first.
Stop it.
is the
I'm gonna need you to
state
stop
god.
always trying to make me into your straw man.
Or not. They did.
Stop.
No, they did not.
Just
If it's not my consent, they did not do anything to me.
Right.
They did it under the power of attorney of your mother and father.
Impossible.
Can a
My
ba-
parents were
can-
not
can-
born
can-
here.
can-
I don't know
can a
what the
baby
fuck y'all
consent?
keep getting confused for.
Well, okay, well,
The
just
fact that
because of
my
that
parents
special
weren't born
occasion.
here, I
But
wasn't
the
born
thing
here,
is-
my grandparents weren't born here, my grandparents did not have no digital birth certificate, all this shit. I keep
No.
trying to tell y'all, if they're trying to talk to us and we never gave them consent, that has to be their name and it has nothing to do with us.
So instead of saying
Period.
you, just say I. Say McReal and Morpheus. Say what?
If I didn't make it,
Yes.
you cannot assign it to me. And if I made it and you don't have any proof I assigned it to you, you better shut the fuck up or catch these hands.
Can I read you something, Malika? A faction is a political party, class of persons who literally come together to make change for government. And that means that they are doing a fictional narrative based on real characters or events. That's what a faction is.
Based on this definition of estate, I don't have an estate
Wow.
Where's that?
because I am not land, nor do I have.
Because she was made of the earth, not land. Land is landing. Land is Christopher Columbus,
Doesn't
a
say it.
discoverer.
Your body is land.
My body is earth.
No, I'm
My
earth.
body
I'm
is not land.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, you're a landed estate. Your landed estate.
No,
I
landed
don't
is-
have an estate unless
Landed
you
is-
have a different definition of estate. If this
You-
is all
you-
you
you-
got, I don't
Well,
have
you-
an
You
estate.
had you had a trust.
No,
You're going, this shit's going to
I
prison.
cannot have it,
No.
Morpheus. In order for me to have it,
Ashes to ashes.
in
dust is
me
the
to
land.
have it, who has to make it?
land.
That's
In
not
order
true.
for it to be mine, who
That's
has
not
to
true.
make it?
It's mine
You
now.
make it. You.
I
You
have to
made it.
make it.
You had to make.
Thank you.
So
So
you're saying
the
you don't have
idea
to-
that
you
because
didn't make.
something is made and someone is trying to attach it to me does not in fact make it mine.
Yes,
You can only, but you can only deny that when you become
I'm not
cognizant
denying
of
anything
that.
'cause I didn't make it. So it's not a
But how
denial.
can you speak for
Oh
anyone
my God.
else's?
We're gonna move on,
Exactly. By
guys.
what authority?
Go ahead, Joe, with your question, comment, or emotional outburst.
All right. Wow. So, really, I got one word that should probably clear all this up, and it might not clear it up immediately for some, but you know subliminally that I'm right. The word is alonges, right? Alonges is like it's connections. Think of a pie, right? Think of cutting this pie into 1,000 pieces, right? And think of these 1,000 pieces everywhere else, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that DMBI utility, right? When you go in there and you type in your social security and you see all those corporations,
Say that shit.
feel me, that have connection to that, right? That this is how you know it's not yours. You have to collect all the allonges in order to claim it as yours.
Hey, bro, what's 9/10 of the law?
Possession.
All right, then.
Okay, what's possession?
There
Let's
you
keep
go.
going. Let's keep going. There you go, Morpheus. What's possession?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Well-
I said the same thing last Saturday
Possession
on the phone.
possession has a lot of different meanings. It could mean your mind. It can mean your soul. It can mean your physical thoughts. It can mean all kind of shit.
Let's look at the
The fact you
etymology.
responded, the fact you responded to anything with the name, it lets you know. Shit.
I only
And
responded with a
allonges-
question. When I responded, my question was, is it just like I told y'all from the top, okay? You're receiving this letter because you might be trying to talk to me. You might be. If you're trying to talk to me, right? Trying to talk to me, I had to have given you permission to talk to me, period.
And allonge is
That's
also
it.
something like, for example, like for those that make separate contracts with the four corners rule, if you in some circles, this is why I said this was past stuff that I did, but I comprehend it more now. An allonge is also something that's effectuated when you try to write something and then put the box around it secondly, because some people will look at that as the spirit of you trying to create a contract after you wrote something instead of establishing whether the contract is going to be written or the modification to the contract that you're probably unconscionably being asked to be held to. So an allonge with that, what you have there is also a means for them to be like, nah, we're going to strike that down. You still have this to do. So it's good that Joe brought that up.
Well, it still has to be attached to a debt instrument. So the point.
Estate is what?
What?
Well, what's the state again?
The state.
The state versus you.
The state what?
This is
state
the
versus
state.
you.
This is the state versus someone. I
How
don't
can
know
it
if
be-
it's
how can it
me.
be a dead
I
city
don't know
versus
if
a-
it's me. I'm
a
telling
living
them
person?
that I somehow got intercepted at my house. So I'm asking them a question. Okay?
Well,
My
I'm saying
calling
all
is this.
communication by
My
law,
calling
right?
is this.
By law.
You are receiving this communication because I read a story that seems like it might be related to me.
Right.
Okay?
Gossip.
You know or should know that the authority of a man or entity is only over what he or it creates. And
Correct.
once created, authority to control by another is only by express written consent of the creator. If
Created
this
the-
is the state of Washington's person, then you don't have any duty and you concede it has nothing to do with me in reality. However,
And that's why-
if this is my person, and since slavery and involuntary servitude is illegal and unlawful, you need to show me I consented for you to use that to communicate with me. Period.
Then
That's
it's
it.
Right,
That's in
and
the
that's
good
why,
cause of
and that's why the state they getting it. See, we talk about usury.
I don't know why y'all
about-
jump off
we talk-
saying that's why.
We
Because
talk
I
we talk
literally
about
sat
usury.
here
We
and
we
showed
talk about
y'all
usury and
the difference. I literally sat here and showed y'all the difference. I had to, if this is me, I had to have given you consent. Period. If it is me, whether you want to say it is me or is my person is where y'all seem to be getting hung up. I'm saying they trying to talk to me. You trying to talk to me.
20 minutes ago.
I didn't give you
no doubt.
permission to talk to me. So unless you can show it, you need to shut the fuck up. Y'all in there trying to
Authority
say
to use
this
that
is
name.
me, it's mine at all costs, and I want you to pay me. I'm not saying all that because if it's your person, do the hell you feel like. Just don't talk to me.
You put your one fraud in, you take your one fraud out, you put one fraud in.
And you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and drag dead bodies around. I'm not doing it.
That's what it's all about.
First is Allah.
Any use of the legal name is unlawful, and we've been using the name that they created through that.
Why do you keep taking us to hell with you? Stop saying we.
So
Hey man, you can go to hell by yourself.
100%.
Don't you can stop that shit too.
well, if that's the case, why don't you stop using it?
And that's exactly the reason why by the judge, the black lady here last year couldn't answer the fucking question on what a woman was.
Come
I
on.
can answer the question, just like that little kid. Boy, girls have penises, girls have vaginas, and boys have penises, just like that little 5-year-old.
That was
She
kindergarten
said we
cop.
don't deal with men and women. So she
Okay.
can't answer that
They
question.
can deal with men and women. Because if you didn't believe they could deal with men and women, why do you go in there trying to sign anything?
Kaboom.
Because you're tricked.
You tricked.
But
we
you're
ain't
not
tricked.
tricked, Charles. You know right now. You actually believe. I'm
Bobby,
glad
stop
you said that, Chuck. If you literally believe that, why are you
Son?
going in there?
I haven't been in there. But even if still, I still have enough knowledge to go in there and beat up on them.
And go do it.
And when they
But
then when they're
wait,
taken
Charles,
to the
didn't you just
administrative
say
court,
that they
whenever
cannot deal with men and women? So are you in fact confessing that you're
No,
acting as a
no,
natural
no,
person agent?
no.
Okay, so why do you say
when
that?
when
Why do
when
you say
whenever
they cannot deal with men and women?
If I went in there, I would express the fucking trust. It's that simple.
Well, the
and
simple
and
thing
and
would
and
be,
and, and
Come on, Bobby.
go ahead, Morpheus.
yeah, anytime I know for a fact, anytime you go in there to an administrative court, that's a tax court. They're bringing you to an administrative hearing under taxes. I have went in there and I've told them motherfuckers, hold on, player. I have asked them to produce the 1040, the 1099s, and everything
I'm
else that's
dead.
associated with this account. And I'm telling you,
I'm not
that
against
they
anything
run
that
from
you're
that
saying,
because
King
it's
Morpheus.
a
Brother,
look,
King Morpheus.
I'm telling you,
I
sweetheart.
am not against what you're saying, and I don't know why you and Charles think that I'm against it. What you are explaining is perfectly how to act as an agent. You're not explaining how to act as a private man or woman.
No, when you go in there and you have the requisite knowledge that you're being brought into a tax court and you ask them for the proper documentation.
The
Like
only
you can go to,
documentation is where I gave you permission
if I cannot be
to talk to
interrupted just
me.
for a second.
The
But
only
listen,
documentation
there's a
needed is
difference
where I
between-
gave you permission to talk to me.
There's a difference between
Thank you,
all
Charles.
anything belonging to the United States is deemed to be in trust. And when we go to the United States, there's two different distinctions. You have a United States District Court and you have a District Court
people
for the
acting
United
as
States.
people, and then you have people acting as persons.
If I could just get my point across. If I
You
can
got
just
it
get my
across.
point across.
Here's how to act as a person, knowing full well you're a people.
Well, are you trying to establish a fiduciary relationship with my fucking person? The game's over.
That's only when they come to yourself. But if people are going into the dealerships, you're trying to commit a crime.
No, it's still the same relationship. We just have to tell
That's
you
why
what the fuck it is.
that's like when you say everything is prepaid. Yeah, but
Crazy.
you have to. There's certain things that you have to do preemptively before you try to get into those transactions. You have to give them the proper instructions.
That's you. That's
and things.
you. That's why Hassan said you keep trying to take us to hell when that's where you're going to visit.
I wouldn't
When
give a
you
fuck
say
what
you
Hassan
got
said.
to, when you say you got to, you're literally talking about yourself, King Morpheus, trying to act like an agent has to. But you cannot convince people like myself exercising my dominion that
I'm not trying to convince you of anything, Malika.
No, I'm not saying that you're trying. I'm not saying you're trying. I'm just letting you know it's not going to happen. I'm not saying that's what you're trying to do. It's just not going to happen when you start describing how to act like an agent.
So if your parents,
I'm not doing that at all. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to suggest that we have all been corporatized into agency.
I'm suggesting that you're incorrect.
We haven't.
Okay, well, I can't never get a point across without
No,
getting
because you just made
some
your point. We've all been
disqualification. Anything I
corporatized.
say is a
No.
disqualification of the truth because I'm speaking in nonsense to y'all. Obviously, I'm speaking
I
in
got a
vow.
question for the
Yes.
Morpheus. I got a question. Look,
We agree on that.
Honestly, What did your mom name
Shut
you
the
when
fuck up,
you
Bobby.
came out the womb? Like, what did your mom name you when you came out the womb?
What was my calling? Nigga, I ain't had no name. I had a calling.
Whatever. I'm not a monkey, but go ahead.
That's
What
private.
was your
That's
calling?
private.
What was your
That's
calling? What did your
private.
mother call you?
He said that's
That's
private.
private.
He said
That's
that's private.
private?
Only the government could use it.
Well, I'll put it like this.
These
No one
motherfuckers
knows
brings up.
because you don't remember when you came out the womb. So anything you're answering to is fraud just off of you answering to it.
No,
It's hearsay.
no, not
It's
to you.
hearsay. It
Not-
might not be
not
fraud.
hearsay
It
to
might not
you.
be
No,
fraud because
anything
you're
you
not
hear
trying to deceive.
anything you hear me say, I'm saying to you. It's not hearsay.
The hell
I'm
it
talking
ain't.
to you.
The hell it ain't.
It's hearsay
You ain't
because
done it.
nobody
done
was
it.
there. You cannot say you know the moment
That's
you were
one of the
born.
votes.
You don't know what
Bobby,
you don't actually
Bobby,
know what your
I told
mom.
you to put your tampon on.
The simplest thing for you two to do is
I
go
don't know
do
why
it.
y'all getting
Go do it and
offended.
show us how to do it.
That's Morpheus
Been
getting
doing
offended.
it.
That's not me. I think he's hilarious.
You ain't collected. You ain't collected, nigga. You ain't. You ain't. collected.
I did it
Hey,
too.
I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it here,
You ain't
guys.
collected. You ain't got the
I'm gonna
cash.
I'm gonna cut it here. I appreciate the conversation, the calm side of the conversation. We don't need to take this stuff personal. Okay. I know that some people cannot help that, but we will have this conversation again
Next video.
because we need to clarify exactly how we're acting. And I need everybody to be very clear. I don't care what y'all do to get y'all stuff. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I understand why people do act as agents. I also understand why we tell ourselves, although we're acting as an agent, that we're not acting as an agent because we feel like since we comprehend the whole process, we get to act like an agent up front and then defend our private position and tell them that we only did it because we were under duress or there's no other way to do it or whatever. Right?
Put your one
I
fraud.
understand.
Malika, not to change the subject, but before you
Yes.
go, I was able to
Change
get
the
my court of claims packet.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Well, you wanted us to get them last week.
It wasn't are you in Ohio?
Yes.
Okay, that's why you're calling it a court of claims packet. Everywhere else, it's just risk management or state tort claim.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you though.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. I hope you fill those out often. I hope all of you fill those out often because what you might see one of the next times we speak is I filled out a tort claim on the Ford dealership. So all of this endorsement, signing, signature, autograph, whatever, it could be a nullity because someone is suggesting that I got to get to the dealership before I could make a claim. But in my experience and opinion, the fact that they sent me that document is enough to make a claim, especially since I asked them specifically for the first page and they lied. Okay. They are actually offering me an opportunity. And yes, it may not take 2 days, but if I don't have to give them anything, so-called numbers, enumeration, I'm okay with that.
Right. You got them. You got them.
That's why I showed it to you guys and asked everybody from the beginning, what do you think about what? Now, we could all be wrong. We could all be wrong. But by definition of false and misleading, by definition of deceptive forms, right? By definition of false advertising, you guys go back over this video, at least the first half, and tell me whether I have a claim. And I don't always have to bring the claim in federal court. As Charles has even confirmed, we can hit them right at financial crime.
These corporations under, because anytime we come in as a presenter of a claim as plaintiff or defendant, you don't want to be a plaintiff or defendant because the true definition of plaintiff is a nagging old bitch, and that's what they play in their jurisdictional realm. The real court, the real court is an Article 3 court, which is under the jurisdiction, not the federal corporation, but the administrative court, the Office of Administrative Courts in the district court for the United States, not the motherfucking United States District Court.
I agree.
I don't use
However,
either.
I will
We don't
also
use
say
either.
that I have learned in reading American jurisprudence that The courthouse is not what's important. So although we might want to say that the district court for the United States and the United States District Court are not the same, and that is true, they're in the same building. So when you want to bring your claim, it's going to be at that same building.
They in cahoots.
Right. They right across the
So
street from you.
all of the jurisdictions have been merged into the same buildings, into the same people sitting there with or without their black robes at the
Say
helm
that
of the
shit.
ship. It's all been consolidated. The only thing that
Now
makes the difference.
now we all on the same page.
The only
Say
thing that
that
makes
shit,
the
Malika.
difference. We all on the same page. Some people just don't want to acknowledge they're acting in an agency capacity, because if they weren't, there wouldn't be nothing to defend afterwards. You wouldn't have to hide your car. You wouldn't have to do anything else in court and all that stuff if you did it legit.
I'd be bored.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. So if you got to do it and give the numbers and then afterwards you got to lock away your car and all that stuff, I'm not saying that you're wrong or evil or bad. I'm just saying that proves that you were alleged to be acting in an agent capacity. That's all. That's all.
Remember,
We
you
on
got
the
to
same
use
page.
exit.
We
You're
on the
absolutely
same
right
page.
on that. You absolutely right, sis. You know what? Technically, I wanna apologize to all of my outbursts that have been construed to be frustration. But this has been a whirlwind for many of us, especially a lot of us who are just coming into the context of this information. I don't want to misconstrue or confuse anyone. Thank y'all for everything, because even myself, through all my adversities, I continue to fucking learn. So
Thank you.
just give me honor and appreciation.
Yes,
for
I
what
mean,
have
I
on this
appreciate, like
plate.
I said, I appreciate the conversation. I don't mind if it gets spicy. I know it's confusing to some people, especially if you're new, but you can always log off. It's okay. It's okay. We don't always have to come on and be like, kumbaya, okay? Because that's not how we actually learn. You have to hear someone else's ideas, even if you disagree, right? Because maybe we might not be thinking of it from a proper perspective, which I think some of us may not still be clear. Maybe we gonna have to listen to it again. And again, like I keep saying, I'm not saying anybody is wrong or bad or evil or anything. I'm just saying, if you go through the transaction and then they come, like when I'm done, right? I won't have to hide my car. You guys understand what I'm saying? When I'm done with them, it's not gonna be I'm hiding it. It's not gonna be now I gotta defend it, right? It's gonna just be done. And if you're doing it in a way that then you have to go do something else afterwards, all I'm saying is that proves that you were acting in an agent capacity, because now they're gonna try to use other laws or whatever that are codes, I should say, because it's gonna be codes, to say this is why we're gonna sue you, that you have to give the car back. You know what I mean?
So you're not doing.
I love you guys.
You're not doing espionage methods of espionage papers, so you don't. So you have to run hide. You're not doing those things. You're going to walk
Yeah,
up
and
right to judge
maybe they
all the
might
time.
deny me, guys. Maybe they might
And
deny
Bobby,
me. But if I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to use those numbers based
and
on what
Bobby
I
and
comprehend about the issuance of those numbers, who even qualifies for them, right? Charles is saying it's a benefit, and I'm flipping it to be a hindrance or like a negative mark, right? He's thinking it as a benefit. It's a benefit if you want to use it as a privilege in business. That's the only time it's a benefit. It can't be a benefit for you to use in your private capacity, because it wasn't created for use in your private capacity. It's impossible for them to require that for you to exercise your dominion. Just think about it, common sense.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's unconstitutional.
and Bobby and Hassan, I just want to say, my brothers, I appreciate both of y'all, man. Don't take anything literally. You know what I'm saying?
Never
we-
do.
we-
We never
we-
do. Never do.
we all have our, like she just said, we all have our enveloped disciplinary expressions that sometimes come out that exceeds our true nature. And this is about truth and law, because everything that they bring to us in law has not been beneficial to us. Everything that when we speak the truth, it resonates with people. You know how good you feel when somebody is telling you the truth. It's just like anything else. Like you pour water on a plant, it's gonna grow, right? So when you pour the right water, if it ain't got nothing in it, any pesticides, then it's gonna make that plant fruitful. Y'all have made my life fruitful just as much as I hope I have enhanced yours. And I
Awesome.
real.
This is gonna be me, you, and Charles next time, and we gonna hammer this thing out. I'm just kidding.
That's the Barry White voice
Nah.
right there.
Out, guys. Thank
I
you so many of you coming back on. I
Thank
saw
you.
90 of you come back on after the thing went. You guys are crazy. Peace.
Thank you.